Okay, now I'm going to show you how to use some functions of this espresso machine. I want to emphasize this is an espresso machine. It's not a coffee machine. If you want just a giant cup of coffee, you need to use this Ninja. If you just want small cups of espresso mixed with milk, like a latte or a cappuccino, then you want to use this coffee maker here. Here's where you fill the beans. They will eventually empty as you grind more. And basically the way to fill them, I keep the coffee back here. I'll have this thing full before leaving, and you just pour it in right around here. Let's see if you can see that a little bit better. See how it's full there? You don't want to put anything in this one here, but this should be nice and level right here. All right, close it. Always check the water. These things don't hold a ton of water. So this side is the water, and it's partially empty, it's half full. Basically, I go up here, I take this one, and we're gonna fill it with water just to the top of the line. You can just pour it like this. Probably one more. Just a little more, just to the top there, and it should be fine. You can kind of see. Hopefully. All right, so now it's full. Turn it on. It's this flashing red button right here. Go ahead and hit it, give it a couple of seconds. It says it's heating up. And as you can see, Tucker is still eating away over here, so he's doing pretty good. Now I'm going to show you typically what I do in the morning. This is probably not what you want to do. Most everything I do is iced coffee, cold coffees. But ideally, I think most people will want a hot cup right around this size here. All right, it's still starting up. And basically, you can use some of these buttons, the cappuccino, the latte, and the aroma strength is to adjust the how much is extracted from the beans. But I'll show you an easier way to do this. So a cup of this size usually uses, let's put this at the minimum line. Hang on, I better measure this just so you know, because this can get... Okay, so 8 ounces are going to go into this. And it could be milk, it could be almond milk, it could be half and half, whatever you want to use. This is unsweetened almond milk. We tend to use that. Now, at this point, this, like I said, there is 8 ounces in here. I usually measure it out. And this is gonna give you this cup right here. We're gonna froth this milk. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, what I have done in the past, and what I do usually, is I add a little of the sweetener. Let's just say about a half of an ounce of sweetener to this. Now, most people won't want to do that. You can stop right here, stick this in, and just get ready to go. But if you want this frothed milk to taste better, you put in a half an ounce of sweetener. Any one of these over here will work just fine. All right, and then what I like to do is I put in a pinch of salt to make a salted caramel. So just about that much is good. You can stir it up. I'm assuming most people won't want to do this, but this gives you great flavor. The frothed milk will have a nice sweet and salty taste to it. So put the lid on, push it down. Now this thing goes in like this at a little bit of an angle. You push and click down, and it should be locked in place at this point. The next most important thing is this has to be pushed to the side like that. Otherwise this thing isn't going to dispense anything. So this has to be opened, because if it's closed, there is going to be a problem. Open that. All right, so here's what we're going to do. You can see he's almost done eating. So now we're going to go ahead, put the cup underneath here. And what you do is, let's see what we got here. You're going to hit this button one time. Okay, this button right here. Once. Now it says drinks. You're going to hit the checkbox. Yes, drinks. Okay. Then you're going to go up to ristretto. I'm sorry, ristretto is the first option. You go 1, this is hot water. 2, this is milk froth. All right, so you're going to stick right there. It says milk froth, and then you're going to hit OK or go or this check mark here. And then this thing will start frothing this milk. It tells you to open this spout here. Now the water's heating up. All right. And that's pretty much it. This thing will start filling, and it'll use, actually it's going to use, you're going to need to do this twice. All right, so here it goes. It's going to froth the milk. You could stop this at any time. It has a progress bar. Once it's done, all the way to the end, it stops, but you could stop it at any time so that it doesn't overflow. But this is roughly, it's going to give you about a half a cup, a little bit more than a half a cup. All right, so now you're at half a cup here, about half a cup, as you can see. And it asks for quick clean. You want to clear that by hitting this back button. That clears that. Now you see that there's a little bit more milk left in here. This straw won't reach all the way down to the bottom, so you do have to put a little bit more in here. I should have added more, but it probably should have been 10 to 12 ounces and then flavored. It needs to be right about here. This is probably where it needs to be. All right, put it back in there. We're going to run that again one more time. So this button here, menu, special drinks, hit OK, and then go up to hot water, milk froth. That's pretty much where you stay. The rest of these are flat white and some other stuff that you probably don't need to mess around with yet. But this is the milk froth. This is where you want to be. Again, check. Spout is open. Make sure it's pushed all the way to the right. Now, this is going to overflow the cup, because when you do 2 milk froths, it does overflow the cup. So we're going to stop this probably right around this halfway mark, 3/4 mark. I didn't flavor this part of the milk. I should have, but for the sake of this video, I didn't. And I'm going to stop it right there because it is going to start overflowing. All right. Again, you can say no to quick clean. Back it up. Now you got this nice cup of frothed milk. It's got a great sweet and salty flavor. Okay, so next we're going to do 2 shots of espresso. And the way you do that is either by double tapping this or just do one at a time. So I'm gonna double tap the espresso shot. This is the main one I use. This gives you like 3 ounces. So let's go ahead and double tap and let's get 2 shots of espresso. It won't do 3 shots, it's either 1 or 2. So FYI, so double tap, and you can see it says espresso 2 times. And there it goes. So this is about the level you want your cup at, the milk, because this is gonna pour 2 shots now, and you don't want this overflowing. But I think this is probably the cup of coffee most people want. Yeah, this is gonna go a little bit over. So what we can do is we can do this. Or while we wait for the second shot to come through, you can hear that it's grinding the beans for the second shot. We'll do this manually here. Probably poured a little bit too much milk in here, but you can just put the second shot in here and then we'll just pour it in. I just don't want to make a mess right now, that's all. And again, you can use any of these to sweeten up the drinks. You can use the caramel or the chocolate to make the drink sweeter. So there it is. You see that each shot is roughly, these are 2 ounces. So each shot is 2 ounces, right? Yeah, it's on the inside. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and just pour this right down the middle. And it wasn't really gonna overflow, but there you have it. All right, there's your cup of joe, 2 shots of espresso, and you did 2 doubles of the milk froth. Roughly, that would have been 10 ounces of milk to get that. And again, you can sweeten this to however you want. The milk froth you can sweeten. You can use any of these, but remember, I would stick with roughly about a 1/2 ounce. Otherwise, it'll be incredibly sweet. Let's say a 1/2 ounce to 3/4 ounce. And then if you want to do a salted caramel, you could add the salt, and a literal pinch of salt is what you can add. See, Tucky's gonna stare at this. He doesn't know what to do with it. He likes the milk, but not the coffee. That's good. All right, that's it. Now, this gets all taken apart and it gets cleaned up. So basically it's 3 parts. 1, you take this off, that gets emptied. You can just water this all down. It's safe. If it gets too dirty, you can soap it. You don't need to use a scrub brush, just washcloth, and then that should be fine, and you can set it aside. Now, for my coffee, what I like to do basically is, and by the way, when this is not in use, this is the cover for it. This goes in here just the same way, just a very easy push, and it doesn't really lock in place. There, now it is locked in place. All right, anyways, what I like to do is just a cold cup, and this might be a better option. I don't know. I haven't found anybody in my family that likes this, but I basically ice, put it under, and all I do is 1 shot, hit the shot button. It's always this top one right here. And again, you can stop it at any time by hitting this button while it's in use. While it's pouring, you can stop, but this won't stop it automatically. This is only stopping it while it's pouring. Like right now, it's pouring. But I've got this already measured out and I know what's happening here, but I usually pour a shot in here. And then all I do is add creamer. Pretty simple. Stir it up and get it ice cold. And fill the remaining with creamer. And it's a nice, quick, cold drink. You can see it marbling, really nice. And that's usually what I do. And these cups, to do one shot and creamer, these cups are right here. These are the ones that we use for that. Okay, that'll hold a shot and some creamer or a shot and some milk. So FYI, these hold basically a shot, shot and a half, and these do basically what I just showed you, which is right here. But that's probably the one that most people would choose, is that. It's just, for me, it takes too long. But always check your levels in here. Obviously it's used a few more beans. Water's down just a little bit. Keep an eye on this. It does occasionally leak from back here. I just clean that up. I don't know why it leaks, to be honest. And last, if this thing says that you need to empty the drawer, pretty simple. There's two buttons right here. Push in, pull out. This little drawer comes out and you can see everything, all the coffee grinds in here. You can just toss them. And then basically this just gets emptied. And then you can just hose it down. That's pretty much it. All right. Yeah. Goes back in. This has to go in this way, right? This lays just like this. Otherwise this thing won't close. It'll tell you, it'll give you a warning. Shows you information up on the screen. Lock it closed. This screen should come up and you should be ready to go again. All right. So again, sides, pull out. This usually needs to be emptied. Sits right in here in this little tray area. Close, done. And you're all set. You shouldn't have to do anything else with this thing. This can just stay back in here. The beans go back in here. And that goes there. This one I keep back there. We have others. I don't like to get them mixed up. So this one stays with the coffee machine. This one doesn't go into the drawers. Rinse it out. This one goes back here. And that is pretty much it. Any questions, call or text. Thanks.